Hello, everyone. If you are someone who's a product manager or an aspiring product manager who's looking to understand more about analytics, then this session is going to be super helpful for you. So, recently I conducted a 2 hour long masterclass where I help people understand how to use analytics better as a product manager. And in this session, we have talked about multiple important topics, such as why do you need to understand product analytics as a product manager? Then we talk about what are the different kind of popular metrics that every product manager should be aware about. Then we have talked about how to understand and identify the different kind of metrics that a product can have and what metrics to measure in order to understand the success or the failure of the product. And then eventually we talk about something called event-based tracking and some of the reports such as cohorts, segmentations, and funnels. And in the end, I have also given a quick overview of how to use Mixpanel in order to do all of this work. So this session is for people who are looking to understand analytics better. And all the resources, links are mentioned in the description. At any point of time, you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments and make sure that you subscribe to the channel because we are planning the similar kind of sessions on AI for product managers, UX UI for product managers, tech for product managers, and multiple other sessions. So make sure you subscribe so that you do not miss out. Let's go ahead and look at the session. So we are all set. Thank you everyone for taking out time on a weekend to spend to learn product management. So today we are going to give you some understanding of how to do analytics as a product manager. Okay, so we are going to talk about a lot of stuff today. So I'm not promising you that we are going to cover each and everything that is into product management about analytics because that will be very overwhelming for you for just 2 hours. But I'll make sure that you have enough knowledge so that you are able to take this understanding and then do a better job as a product manager. Or if you are an aspiring product manager, you should be able to do better in interviews and you should be able to develop that analytical mindset. Okay, so that is the promise for today. Make sure that you are at a non-distracting place. Like if you are going to focus in the session, that is going to help you out only. Now let me go ahead and start the session. Yes. Disable annotation for others. Yes. Cool. So today's session is around analytics for product managers. Yes. And this is our agenda. Today we are going to talk about, we are going to start our session from what is actually need for analytics, why are we doing analytics. Then we'll talk about metrics and KPIs. Then we'll talk about some of the popular metrics. Yeah. Guys, I hope I am audible for everyone. Like the voice is very, very clear, right? आपको क्या सुनो? Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hmm. So I have a tendency to speak fast. So I would appreciate if you guys can go ahead and focus on the session. Yes. Cool, guys. So then we are going to talk about some of the popular metrics that are common across the industries. Then I'll talk about how to find the right metrics. What is a tool called as metric trees? Then we'll talk in detail about what is event-based analytics. And then we'll talk about a couple of things, which is funnels and cohorts, how you can use these reports in order to improve your products. And then in the end, you'll understand about how to do analytical problem solving. And then I'll give you a quick 5 minute overview of what is Mixpanel and how you can use this tool in order to take better analytical driven decisions. Okay, so this is the agenda for today. Can you guys quickly tell me in the chat which of these are you most interested in? You can take anything and then tell me in the chat. Tell me one thing that you are most interested in today. Funnels, event-based analytics, all aspect, event-based. Cool. I think similar answer. Yes, finding right metrics is a common thing. Yes, cool. So let me go ahead. We'll cover everything, but I'll make sure that I'm putting some strong focus on whatever you guys have told me. Cool. So now, before I could start the session, there has to be some context. Who am I? Why am I eligible to go ahead and give you like deserve the 2 hours of attention from you? So my name is Ankit, and I started my career as an engineer. While I was in college, I was an engineer. I started a couple of companies. One was Gwalior7.com, another was My Legal Work. So Gwalior 7 was nothing but the Zepto that you see today. We tried to go ahead and deliver things to people within 7 hours within that particular city. Didn't work out as you can see it. So this was around 2012, 2013. After this, I have gone ahead, completed the education, started another startup again, and eventually I started working for a company called Shiros. Shiros was the largest social network for women in the world. And then when I joined Shiros, I was able to take the company from around 1 million users to 5 million users. And I was able to take the retention of the product from around 35% to around 70%, which is day seven retention. After this, I worked for a very hyper growth company, which was IND Money. I was a very like a pretty earlier joiner at IND Money. I was able to take the company from around 10,000 users to 500k users growth. I was leading the product growth function over there. And then in the end, I recently worked for a company like a couple of years ago, which is Scalar Academy. So they have a very popular product known as Interview Bit, where I was able to take that product from around 250k users per month to around 3.5 million users per month. This has been about my professional career. And I have also been a founder of a company called HelloPM in the last 3 years, and where we have helped more than 10,000 individuals learn product management. So you might have seen our videos on YouTube, you might have seen our content on LinkedIn, on other kind of places. If you search for product management articles on Google, you'll be able to find HelloPM somewhere or the other. So we have been helping people with product management education for about 3 years now, and we have been putting some free courses, some paid courses to make sure that we are able to go ahead and help people learn product management. We have scaled so much that most of the time, if you go ahead and pick any company out there in India and mostly in the world, you'll be able to see one or the other person who is working as a product manager or in the product team in that particular company. So we have a wide reach now, and this is just to make sure that you are able to understand that maybe we deserve the 2 hours of attention that you are going to give in the next few hours. Yes. Anyone who knows any of these companies? Anyone who knows any of these companies? Yes, yes. ID Money Scaler. ID Money Scaler. Yes. Cool. So actually, you guys are very fortunate because when I joined this company, when I joined these companies, they were not at all popular. So I was just like maybe a right person at the right place at the right time. And that is how I was able to learn a lot from people. So I've seen like 0 to 1 journeys at all of these companies. Yes. So now with that being said, this is the most important slide in the whole session today. Guys, whatever I'm going to give you today is just information. But information has never helped anyone. Okay. What you need is actually knowledge. So how do you bridge that gap? I'll give you information, but you have to convert it into knowledge. So how do you bridge that gap? You will bridge that gap by taking the action. I'm also going to recommend you multiple exercises today so that you are able to take all of the information that I've told you, practice in your life, and what you need to effectively do is think for yourself. Understand there is already a lot of content around product management, around building businesses, around analytics, around tools that is already available. But what is lacking is how do you go ahead and convert this information into knowledge? And that you can do by a lot of action and reflection, which is if I tell you this is the North Star metric or these are the metrics for WhatsApp, you should think for yourself. As in, yes, this is for WhatsApp. How can I go ahead and create the same kind of metrics for maybe Spotify or maybe Facebook? If you do enough practice, then only you'll be able to convert this information into knowledge and try to question everything. Not to me, but to yourself. You have to think for yourself. If you do not know how to think for yourself, you can never become a good product manager. If you are only, let's say, understanding from books or let's say learning from other people, then what will happen is that you'll just become like a backlog manager or a sprint manager. You'll not be able to come up with the like really unique or helpful ideas for your customers. Okay, so this is the most important slide. Whatever I'm going to give you today, this is just information. Maybe I have created some better information, that's it. I'm putting some experiences of mine, that's it. But what you need is knowledge, and for that, you have to do the actions that I'm going to recommend you today. And you have to think for yourself. Don't take my word for it. You have to think for yourself. Okay. Now, let us go ahead and formally start the session. We are already 10 minutes into this. Talking about the definition of product analytics. What is product analytics? Yes. Although you guys can see the definition on the screen, can people go ahead and take a moment to tell me in a couple of words what is product analytics? Try to be as brief as possible and tell me in the chat what do you think is product analytics? What are we going to learn about today? User breadcrumbs, very interesting. How product performs, useful insights, measuring the usage of the product, very good. Analyzing user behavior, super interesting. Yes. Understanding different metrics, cool. Yes, I think you guys are already there. Great, amazing guys, amazing, cool. I think we have some intelligent room today. Yes. So product analytics is measuring how your users are using your product to improve their experience and meet your business goals. I'll tell you a fundamental equation for any business in the world. No matter what kind of business or product that you are creating, this is the fundamental equation that every business works upon. Any product that is created, it has to deliver the value to the user. And in return, the user will reciprocate that value with the help of money or let's say attention. Right? Now, the purpose of the product is to make sure that it is able to deliver value. Value means, are you able to solve a problem in the life of the user? The product has to be a solution for an important problem, or it has to address an important desire in the life of the user. I want to go from place A to place B, and I want convenience, I want safety, and I want cost effectiveness. So maybe I'll take an Uber. Uber is the product that solves for these desires or problems. Okay, so the first purpose of the product is to deliver the user value. And the second purpose of the product is to make sure that you are able to deliver the business value. What does the business want? More revenue, more attention, more market share, these kind of things, or more profits. So the purpose of any product in the world, and this is the fundamental rule of product management that never changes. Why does a product manager exist? A product manager exists so that they are able to build a product which delivers customer value and business value. Whether you should know tech, design, UX, UI, these kind of things, data and all, it depends upon whether it helps you solve these two purposes. This is the fundamental of product management. Now, let's say, how do you know what's a business value? What is a customer value? How do you know if you have created a product that is actually giving the customer some value, that is actually giving business some value? How do you know that? You know that through measurement. By measuring how people are doing this, how people are using your product. For example, Uber might think that people are looking to go from point A to point B, and they need convenience, safety, and cost effectiveness. However, if people do not use the product, if they do not go ahead and if they do not go ahead and continuously use the product, pay the amount, book the cab, then it means that it is not. So analytics is that measure that will make sure that yes, your product is able to go ahead and deliver, like that will show you that whether the product is able to deliver the value or not. Okay, so this is what analytics is. And why do we understand analytics? Why do we understand analytics? Analytics can help you do multiple things. Analytics is basically study of data. Analytics is study of data, and it will help you improve user empathy. As in, whether your people are actually using or loving your product or not, it is very much clear from the data. If people are, let's say, using your product, you will have more usage. You will have more, let's say, if you are loving Instagram Reels, then if Instagram product managers check how much time are you going ahead and opening the, let's say, the product, what is the daily active users, then they will understand that yes, this person is actually loving our product. Okay. Similarly, it improves your business understanding. There are some common analytics or metrics that every business has to measure, which is what is the cost to acquire a customer, which we are going to talk about in a moment. Okay. So this will tell you whether you are able to acquire the customer at a better cost or not, so that your business is actually, let's say, a sustainable business model. Okay. So these are few numbers that will tell you about the business understanding. Then it helps you build influence. Build influence as a product manager, you have no authority over people. You have to convince your developers, your designers, your leadership through your influencing abilities. And there is no better influencer than data. So let's say you are stuck between whether I should do A or whether I should do B. Then you can go ahead and conduct an A/B test. You can understand the data, you can do some benchmarking in order to gather that data and then showcase to the leadership or to your developers or designer that this is what we should do. So data is also an influence tool. And most importantly, data will also help you course correct. By course correcting, I mean you decided that we are going to make 10 million revenue in this quarter. You launch something. Then you measure the data revenue again, but it is not going as per your expectation. So you can always go ahead, course correct, because your metrics are telling you that you are not going in the right direction. And if you combine all of these four things, you are going to build better products. Okay, so this is why you as a product manager need to understand how to use analytics. Otherwise, if you are a product manager who does not understand analytics and only thinks about, let's say, how do I go ahead and execute things, then you will be like a pendulum, which is moving here and there, but does not know what is the real direction that they really want to go. Okay. And how does it fit in the complete product management lifecycle? I divide the whole product management flow into three parts. First is the discovery. Second is the delivery. Third is the distribution. Discovery means you talk with your customers, you understand your business goals, and then you try to understand what I can build for them. This is mostly the ideation and the definition phase. Here you try to understand what to build. And here the company benchmarks, the insights and the analytics will help you start with a goal and direction. So here metrics can help you out in order to set up a goal. Similarly, when product delivery happens, product delivery basically means that you will go ahead, create some kind of product requirement documents or user stories. You will give it to your designers and developers and testers. They are going to build the product based on your requirements. And when these people are facing some conflicts, whether we should do A or whether we should do B, then your analytics or your metrics will help. That because we are focusing on this metric, this is the best thing that we need to do. So it helps you in decision making during the product delivery part. And the third part is product distribution. Whenever you go ahead and create a product and you take it into the market out there to distribute, that is known as product distribution. Here, sales and marketing and growth teams plays a very important role. And here it is used to help your assess your progress and attribution. Whether if you have thought that this product will be used by so many users, is it true or not? How do you understand what kind of users are using the product? Here also metrics helps a lot. So metrics is applicable, is helpful in all the three phases of product management, whether it is discovery, delivery, or distribution. Okay. So in short, if you are building a product, you need to know if you are going in the right direction, whether you are making the progress, whether you are making the progress or not. And that is done with the use of metrics, and the understanding of metrics is known as analytics. The study of metrics is known as analytics. Okay. So everyone, tell me on a scale of 1 to 5 if you are able to understand why we are why we should know how to use metrics. Interesting. Very good, guys. Yes. Cool. Yes. Distribution is launch. Cool. Let me give you a short example. And I'll take one example across the session. Okay. Let's say we are looking to create a referral system. Okay. So first of all, how do we discover that we need to create a referral system? How do we discover if we need to create a referral system? Okay. So the company has given you a goal that we need to increase our user base. And after understanding the users, after doing the research with the marketing team, you are able to understand the best way to get the users is to introduce a referral mechanism. But why would people refer other friends to your particular app or product? Then you will do more study. You will understand what is the incentive, what is the motivation, what is something that your product can provide them. Okay, so this is what you are going to do in product discovery. You will understand how to create the referral mechanism. You will research your audience. You will understand the business goals. You will do the market research, what your competitors are doing, and then you will be ready with the product, the referral discovery. Once that is done, once you know what you need to do, then you are going to create a product requirement document that you will share with your engineering and the design team, and they will go ahead and share it. Okay, and here also they will understand that yes, if they are stuck in any kind of decision, they are going to understand that yes, we have to increase the number of users. That is why we have to make it simple. So let's say designer has two options, 5 screens or 3 screens. Maybe 3 screens are better because you want to get as many users to use the referral mechanism, and easier the onboarding, easier it is to go ahead and get more people referred. Okay, and then eventually when you go ahead and launch the referral in the market, then you have to understand the metrics, which is how many new people are being invited to the platform because of this mechanism. How many people are actually looking at the referral screen? How many people are actually inviting? How many people are actually joining? These could be some of the metrics. So if I take an example of referral, this is how these three things are going to work. Yes. A quick yes or no, everyone, if you are able to understand this. Yes. Cool. Now let us talk about metrics and KPIs. Okay. So what are product metrics? Product metrics are quantifiable data points that a business tracks and analyzes to gauge the success of its product. Okay. So metrics is anything that you can measure with your product. And KPIs are important metrics. Okay. So metric is anything and everything that you can measure. That's just data that is being generated out of your product. However, KPIs are important metrics, which means that all metrics, sorry, which means that all KPIs are metrics, but all metrics are not KPIs. KPIs stand for key performance indicators. These are important metrics that show whether your product is able to go ahead and give business some kind of success or not. Okay, does it relate to business success or not? While while a metric is each and anything that you can go ahead and measure. So every KPI is a metric, but every metric is not a KPI. A quick yes or no, everyone, if you're able to understand this sentence. Every KPI is a metric, but every metric is not a KPI. Cool. Now, everyone, quickly give me one example of KPI. Give me one example of KPI. DAU, yes. MAU, CTR, NPS, retention, CAC, sign up, engagement. Very good. Engagement, churn rate, yes. Yes, I think this room knows most of the things already. Yes, great. Very good. Yes. Cool. So let me give you first some examples of metrics first. Okay. So in an e-commerce website, like a Flipkart, Amazon, Mantra, these kind of things, we have page views. How many views are these pages? How many people are actually going ahead and viewing these pages? Number of registered users, how many people are registered on the website? How many people are adding to carts every day or every week or every month? How many sales are happening and what is the daily traffic? Okay, you can understand all of these are metrics, but maybe page views is not an important metric. Maybe number of registered users is not an important metric, right? So important metrics could be maybe add to cart could be an important metric. How many people are adding to cart? But that is not a very important metric. The very important metric is how many people are you able to get daily? What is the daily active users? Plus, what is the sales that you generate? Right? So these two could be KPIs, and others are, as you know, are metrics. Similarly, for a social network, retention, daily active users, average time spent, messages sent, number of reactions could be metrics. But average time spent, daily active users, and retention, they could be KPIs because they are important. It actually tells you about the value that the customer is getting from the product and the advertiser is getting from the product, while messages sent and number of reactions might not be. Okay, so if you want to understand what's a KPI, what a metric, try to understand, does it signifies user value, the value that the user is getting, and does it signifies the business value? If you are able to relate to business value and the user value, then mostly it is a metric, it is a KPI. But guys, understand, it is subjective on every business. Let's say if you are working for Facebook, okay, if you are working for Facebook, if you are the CEO of Facebook, which is Mark Zuckerberg, then for you, retention is a very important metric and revenue is a very important metric. But let's say if you are working in a team which is actually working only on reactions, then this is also an important metric for you. So it changes or with context. If you are depending upon the person that you are, depending upon what is your responsibility, depending upon the context that you are coming from, some metrics could also be KPIs. Yes? A quick yes or no, everyone, if you are able to understand everything so far. Wonderful. Yes. Yes. So something could be a metric to someone, but a KPI to someone else. Yes. Very good. So Mark Zuckerberg might not care about what is the average time spent. What he cares about is the revenue in the end, or the shareholder value, or the value of the share. Yes. Cool. Good. Interesting. Now let's go ahead and talk about some of the popular metrics. Okay. So I'll take some time in order to help you understand different kind of popular metrics. Let us start with the first one. The first one is revenue. What is revenue? Revenue is the money that company makes. Most of the time, this is the main metric for any company. I would say all of the time, it is the main metric for every company, unless you are in very early stage. Okay, so revenue simply means the money that a company makes. Okay, the valuation of the company is also dependent mostly on or a large part on the revenue of the company. Okay, after revenue, we have something called as monthly recurring revenue. What is monthly recurring revenue? Monthly recurring revenue is how much money do you make every month? How much money do you make every month? That it tells you the status of health of your business. So most of the SaaS applications, software as a service, and most of the good possible businesses in the world, they measure their metrics monthly. What is the monthly recurring revenue? Okay. Similarly, you can go ahead and convert it into weekly recurring revenue, and you can also convert this into annual recurring revenue. And if you are in a simple business such as SaaS, let's say you are a product manager at Zoho. Now, if you want to understand what is the revenue that the company is making, is equal to 12 into MRR, right? What is MRR? MRR is nothing but number of active users who are paying multiplied by what is the average money that they pay you. ARPU stands for average revenue per user. Average revenue per user. Okay, and this is the number of active users. And number of active users is equal to new users which are acquired this month plus old users. Old users who are there from more than a month ago, which is your retention. New users are which are coming from marketing. And average revenue per user is the money that you make from one user. Okay. And if you want to understand the average revenue, you will understand what is the money that they are paying for feature one, what is the money that they are paying for feature two, what they are money that they are paying for feature three or feature four. What I have created right now, is a metric tree. Okay. I have created a metric tree. So what I'm doing is I'm taking few metrics and then I'm going ahead and helping you understand that how smaller metrics are related to the bigger goal of the company, which is eventually the revenue. Okay, if you want to make the similar metric tree for a company called Airbnb, for Airbnb, revenue is yes, cool, yes. So guys, here the old users, in this case, the old users are people who are still active. If I remove this active, then it will become total old users minus churn rate. Okay, this is the churn rate. So if we are taking active users, that's okay. But if you want to calculate active users, that means that yes, you are acquiring a lot of users, but many users are actually going ahead and users are actually going ahead and they are leaving your system, which is the churn rate. Okay, so now a question for everyone. Let's say there is a company whose daily active users, DAU stands for daily active users, people who are active on the platform today. Okay, this is the ratio. The ratio is, this is company A. Here we have, today they have 300 users, then they have 400 users, then they have 450 users, then they have 500 users. And then there is company B, which has 200 users, 220 users, 230 users, and 250 users. This is DAO for company A. This is DAO for company B. Can you guys tell me which company is doing better? This is number of users. Number of users, which is daily active users. Tell me which company is doing better, guys. A or B? Yes. Cool. So guys, the answer is that you do not have enough data. Okay. The answer is you do not have enough data. Enough data is understand is equal to daily active users is equal to new users that are acquired that day plus old or existingly active users. It might be possible that for this company, let's say 300 people are coming today. Tomorrow, out of the 300 people, only 5 people are coming and they are acquiring 395 people more. This is new users and this is old users who are coming. And out of this five, next day, out of these 400 people, maybe 10 people are coming and they are again acquiring 440 more people. And then similar next day, 20 people are coming from 450, plus they are acquiring 480 users. And it could be possible in this particular scenario that they have 200 users. Next day, 180 of them are coming and they are acquiring 40 more users. Next day, 200 are coming and they are acquiring 30 more users. And the next day, 220 are coming and they are acquiring 30 more users. Yes, so the data was not enough. Understand, in product management, you have to ask clarification questions. You just cannot go ahead and go on one metric in order to give your answer. Right? Everyone, a quick yes or no if you are able to understand this. Yes. So ask the right questions. Cool. Yes. And also, guys, we never asked what is the definition of DAO. DAO means daily active users. For Facebook, a daily active user is someone who spends, let's say, 1 minute on a platform daily. For Amazon, a daily active user could be that someone who is at least buying something that day. For Netflix, a daily active user could be someone who is spending at least 20 minutes in order to do something. So the definition of daily active users depends from company to company. Flipkart would not want you to just open the app and go away. That is not their daily active user count. Right? So it depends on context. That's why the only thing that you can learn from this session forever is think for yourself. Cool. Everyone, on a scale of 1 to 5, you are able to understand everything so far. Very good. Yes. Now, one more question, one more nuance to this, guys. Okay. Just because this product is better at retention doesn't mean that this is going to be a better product. Okay. Because although most of the products depend on good retention, there are some products where retention might not matter. For example, if you are Wakefit, you are selling mattresses. If you sell one mattress to someone, they will never, if your product is good, they will not come back to you for 10 years. Right? So please go ahead whenever you are asked a question, try to understand the context. Context is the most important thing that you need to think for yourself. There are no formulas. Yes. So we talked about revenue, monthly recurring revenue. We talk about average order value. Average order value is how much, let's say in a order, people are able to spend on your product, which is your basket size when you go to Amazon. What is the size of your cart? That is the average order value. Okay. The players such as Zepto, such as Amazon, they want to increase your basket size. They want to increase the average order value. That is why they are going to, whenever you go ahead and try to check out, they will try to upsell you something. They will try to make sure that you are able to buy the item that can give them the most profits. or they are able to increase the average order value. Okay. Similarly, there is something called as customer lifetime value. Customer lifetime value is taken the complete lifetime of the customer. Can you predict what is going to be the total value that this customer generates for your business? This is generally a prediction, not a completely correct value, but it generally becomes better as you go ahead and your company operates for a longer period of time. Okay, customer lifetime value. The fifth metric is customer acquisition cost. Customer acquisition cost is how much do you pay in marketing or sales in order to bring the customer to buy something from you. Customer acquisition cost. And this is one of the costs that eats up many of the companies. If you have a very heavy sales team, very heavy marketing team, then your customer acquisition cost is high. Okay. And if your customer acquisition cost is high and your customer lifetime value is low, that means you will not be able to build a sustainable business. Okay. Let me give you examples. So let's say we have two products. One product is MailChimp and other product is Amazon Web Services, or let's say Microsoft Azure. These are these are cloud providers, and MailChimp is a simple system through which you can send emails to your clients. Okay. In MailChimp, generally, let's say we consider CLTV, customer lifetime value, for 12 months. Okay. Every month they are getting $20 from the customer, and customer is being on their platform for 12 months. So they are going to make anyways between 240 USD. Okay. Similarly, there is AWS or Azure, where there are many customers who are going to give them as much as 100K USD, maybe every month. There are many businesses that are going to spend this kind of money. Okay. Which means that LTV on AWS is much bigger than LTV of MailChimp. Which also means that if AWS Azure has to choose a sales channel or marketing channel, they can go with their on-ground sales team. They can sponsor events. They can spend much more in marketing because their LTV is very good. So your channel of distribution will also depend upon how much your LTV and how much your CAC is. LTV stands for lifetime value and CAC stands for cost to acquire a customer. Okay, and then if you think that your cost to acquire a customer is high, then you have to think innovatively in order to make sure that you are able to get customers at the lower cost. That is what you need to do qualitatively as a product manager. Okay, so LTV should be greater than CAC. This is the ultimate equation for business building any sustainable business. Yes. Everyone, a quick yes or no if LTV and CAC is understood to you. Cool. I'll give you guys one more shot. LTV means customer lifetime value. Let's say we want to take the customer lifetime value for 12 months. Okay. Let's say we want to take the customer lifetime value for 12 months. Then it means that what is your monthly charges multiplied by 12. So if you are talking about MailChimp, which is $20 multiplied by 12, which is you are going to make $240 from a customer. If you want to, this is for a SaaS product. Okay. Now, if you want to include it for Amazon, then what you are going to say is, let's say, what is the average order value multiplied by number of orders that they make. So let's say in one order, you order for 1,000 rupees and you make 10 orders per year on Amazon. So you give 10,000 rupees to Amazon. Okay. So this is a simple formulation of LTV. Understand? I have taken 12 months, but generally companies take on their own context. Some people take 24 months, some people take 36 months. Depends upon how much prediction you want and how much predictability you can do, how much prediction you can do depends upon what is the data that you already have. What is the confidence that you have in your data? Amazon can right now go ahead and do maybe prediction for next 5, 10 years. It is going to be a prediction, right? But maybe smaller companies or newer companies such as Zepto cannot do it because they do not have that much data of historical availability, right? AOV is average order value or called as a basket size. Guys, you need to focus on the session. You need to focus on the session to understand the whole flow of the session. Otherwise, you will miss out. Cool. Yes. Guys, quickly write focus in the session if I have your attention right now. Please write focus in the chat if I have your attention right now. Yes, because we are talking about too many, let's say, new jargons and technical things, it is important for you to keep focus. Otherwise, things will not understand. Because if you forget what is revenue and AOV, you will not understand the entirety of the class. Cool. Very good. Yes. So we talked about this. Then there is something else. Then there is something else called as payback period. Now, guys, I have a question for everyone. What do you think is a payback period? What do you think is the payback period? Yes. The time till which your CAC is recovered. For example, you spend $10 in marketing and monthly cost for your product is $5. Okay. Your monthly cost of the product is $5 and you spend $10 in CAC. So it will take you how many months to break even? It will take you how many months to break even? Yes, 2 months. So 2 months is your payback period. This is very important for apps and SaaS and businesses which are heavily relying on performance marketing. Performance marketing is you see ads on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, the ads that you can skip. These people, when they are running ads so heavily, they need to formalize a formula so that they can understand in how much time will we be able to get the money back. Okay. Then there is retention and churn. What is retention and churn? So retention and churns are opposite of each other. Consider this diagram. And retention is one of the most important metric for a product manager. It actually tells the actual value of your product. Okay. So this is number of active users. And this is number of days. Okay. When the people are on your app on day zero, all of them are going to be active because they have opened the app, right? But as the time goes, people go ahead and they stop using the app. This is called as retention. Initially, let's say there were 100% people who are using the app. Next day, 80%, then 70%, then 60%. This happens with most of the apps. Okay, this is the retention. Retention means how much are you able to go ahead and retain your users. Okay, if you take the reverse of it, 100 minus retention, it will become churn rate. Right? Retention actually means that users are getting the recurring value from your product. Okay, right? Now, retention, number of people who keep on using your product month after month or day after day. That is called as retention. Okay. The opposite of retention is churn. How many people are you losing out very frequently? Okay. How many people are you losing out very frequently? Okay. Now, now, There are three kinds of retentions that are possible. Number one retention, which is popular with most of the products. Most of the products are going to go ahead and do this. Okay. They will start with a bang and then they will die. Can you guys give me any product, any example of this? Yes, very good. Threads is a very good example. They were the most popular product on day one, and then it died down. Similarly, another example is another example is this app called Clubhouse. Right, very good. Yes. Now there are more products. Okay, there are other products where what happens is that you start using the product, but eventually some people will keep on using and some people will go away. Okay. This line, this line will become parallel to x-axis. Number of users, and this is number of days. Okay. Can you guys tell me an example of this product where it loses the audience, but then it becomes stable? These are generally stable products. Yes. So most of the products with good retention, most of the general products, if you see your phone, if there are some apps that you have not installed for a longer period of time, then maybe these are these apps. Very simple. If there are some tools that are that you are using in your business, then most of the time these are the tools that have good retention. Okay. Now there is a third graph as well. That is rare. The third graph is okay. So can you guys tell me what is happening here? It's a U-shaped graph. Tell me what is happening here. Yes. Right. So what happens here is that this part everyone is able to do. Let's say if your company is good with marketing, then this is just the novelty phase. Novelty as in people want to use new products and they are going to go ahead and use your product. Okay. After a certain period of time, that novelty is going to die down. People will eventually go ahead and they will stop using the app. Most of the people will stop using the app. This is realization. But after a certain period of time, whenever you are facing that problem again, you are again going to go back to that. Whenever you are facing that problem again, you are going to again go back to that app. Remember when you start using ChatGPT? Initially, it was all over the place. So everyone was excited about the same. But you used it for 1 day, 2 day, but you thought maybe not very helpful. But they keep on updating the product. So whenever you are facing that challenge again, then you again come back to the product again. So all the popular products, all the great products actually follow this graph. So whenever you face that problem again, because this is a continuous problem that they are solving. Whenever you face that problem again that this product is solving, you are again going to go back to that particular app. Right? Yes. So Chat GPT, Facebook, Instagram, all of these are the example of these kind of apps. Right? Yes. Everyone, on a scale of 1 to 5, if you are able to understand the retention. Cool. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Yes. Happy to know. Now, after retention, we have daily active users and monthly active users. I have told you what are daily active users, monthly active users, but guys, understand every company has a different definition of daily active users and monthly active users. For Amazon, someone who buys in a day or in a month, once in a month, is known as DAU or MAU. For Amazon, right? But for, let's say, a Facebook, people who are even opening the app, they are daily active users. For Netflix, people who start a series are daily active users or monthly active users, or people who spend 10-15 minutes on the platform. Okay, so this is daily active users and monthly active users. It is very popular for gaming companies and generally social networks or maybe entertainment companies. Okay, now DAU and MAU. Okay, DAU divided by MAU. This reflects what is the stickiness of your platform, which is if 100 people are active every month on your platform, how many of them are actually coming every day? This shows the stickiness of the platform, that how many people are actually very, very active on the, what is the stickiness of the platform? Do people use it once or they use it frequently? Okay, so this is DAU versus MAU. Very important for gaming and social network companies. And can you guess one product where DAU by MAU is highest? Tell me, guys, can you tell me one product where DAU to MAU is highest? Yes, whatever product that you use daily, it tells more about retention. Yes, very good. Chat GPT is a great example. WhatsApp is a very good example. Yes. Can you guys tell me one example where DAU to MAU ratio is very low? Give one example where DAU to MAU ratio is very low. Very good. Your personal banking apps, you get your salary on first day, you look what your salary is, and then you move to Paytm, PhonePe in order to go ahead and transact. You never look at your bank app again and again. Right. Very good. Very good. Yes. And that does not mean that your product is not good. That does not mean that the product is not good. Just that it is not an important metric. Right. Then there are other metrics as well. One is net promoter score. Net promoter score means that how are people liking your product and how likely are they to refer your product to other people, which is net promoter score. Okay, you might have seen a lot of, let's say, a lot of people, a lot of apps, a lot of products, we should ask you that on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely are you to recommend this product to other people? That is called as net promoter score. This is an indicator whether people are actually liking your product or not, whether they like it enough to tell it to other people as well. This is mostly a survey. Okay, but you need to be like very much aware of the surveys, because I'm also going to share with you a survey at the end of the class, and I know most of the people are going to push it in hurry. Right. Conversion rate, very simple. How are you able to convert the users? And the definition could be different for different kind of companies. For example, how many people are able to arrive on your website? How many people are landing on homepage? Versus how many people are actually clicking on sign up button. So CTR is the difference between step one is that how many people registered for this particular class, how many people are actually attending, and then how many people actually go ahead and give the feedback. This is the conversion rate. Then there is a click-through rate. How many people are clicking on the button? Click-through rate is CTR. Very important for advertisers and marketers. CTR, click-through rate. And then average revenue per user. Average revenue per user is ARPU. How much revenue do you get from per user? And some people do it for monthly, some people do it for weekly, some people do it for years. Okay, so this is average revenue per user. Yes, cool. So these are the important 14 metrics that you need to know, guys. Everyone tell me on a scale of 1 to 5 if you are able to understand all of these metrics. Great. So, yes. Cool, guys. So now what we'll do is we will take a quick break of 5 minutes and then we will come back. So go ahead, get up from your chair, drink some water, do some stretches and come back. We'll see each other after the end of this time. Welcome back, everyone. Please write me, I am back in the chat if you are back. Please write, I am back in the chat if you are back. And also, guys, I would request some of you to open your cameras so that you are able to put your best focus in the session. And I should be able to see some faces so that I know I am interacting. Go ahead, guys, open your cameras if you can. Yes, all I could see is a lot of fans. Great. Like not my fans, but literally fans. Great, great. Amazing, cool. So we'll resume now. Okay, cool. So welcome back, everyone. So many fans. Yes, cool. So let me go ahead. Yes, and guys, also I understand that this is too short of a session to help you understand each of these metrics in detail. In the bigger program that we offer, we discuss these things in detail. But I'll also share with you like a cheat sheet or a list where I will help you understand these things in detail. So that will be available to you after the session, like after a couple of days from the session. But right now, I think this should be enough information for you. Now let's go ahead and talk about. So these metrics that I've told you, these are applicable for most of the business. Okay. But there are also some product specific metrics. Okay. These are product specific metrics. As in, if you talk about YouTube, YouTube is going to measure how many hours that you have watched. This metric will not make sense for Amazon. This will not make sense for Flipkart, but it is unique to YouTube or these kind of platforms. Similarly, Airbnb is going to talk about nights booked. Similarly, Zoom is going to talk about meetings conducted. How many meetings are conducted? Because it is unique to Zoom, this is how they measure their success. Similarly, Zepto is going to measure how many deliveries are we able to do in 10 minutes because that is their brand promise. That is their value proposition. And then LinkedIn, job posted. How many jobs are being posted on LinkedIn? And then there is a company which measures videos created. Can you guys tell me which logo is this? Can you guys tell me which logo is this? Loom. Very good, very good, very good. Yes. So Loom is a company that helps you record videos and do the session recordings, screen recordings easily. Yes. So they measure video created. Okay. So understand, some metrics are common metrics. Some metrics are product specific metrics. Some metrics are important metrics. Some are not so important metrics. Many times I have seen product managers make a very terrible mistake that they try to focus on, either they don't focus on metrics or they focus on too many metrics and they end up overwhelming themselves. Okay, so focus is the key. Now, the biggest question, how to decide the north, yes, how to decide the right metrics for any product. Okay, although there are multiple methods to the same, there are multiple methods. Some people start with the North Star metric. Some people talk about L1 metric, L2 metric. Some people talk about leading metric, lagging metric. Some people talk about driver metric, success metrics. Okay, but I'll go ahead and give you a very commonsensical framework so that you don't have to remember everything. Okay, there is a ARR framework, there is a HERT framework, there are so many frameworks out there. Okay, but I would request you to forget every framework right now and focus on the common sense, because common sense is the only thing that is going to help you think on your feet. Okay, not these frameworks. Okay, so forget about RICE, Moscow, Kano, or L1, L2, lagging, leading, any of these things. Focus on the common sense. The first thing that you need to do is understand the feature. If someone asks you the question that what would be the metrics that you will measure for this feature. Then the first question that you need to ask is, what is the feature? What is the goal of the feature? What is the company strategy? What is the problem that is solved? To make sure that you and the person or the product is on the same page about the you and the other person are on the same page about the understand the purpose of the product. That is step number one. Step number two is, why was the feature built? Why in the world have you invested so much effort, time, design, and development and testing and marketing in order to build this feature? Okay, this is the most important question. And as I have told you, every product in the world is created for two things. Can you guys tell me what is the purpose of every product in the world? Tell me in the chat. What are the two purposes for every product in the world? I have told you just few moments ago. Yes, cool. So every business, every product exists for customer value and business value. Okay, so now you have to question, how do I measure this customer value and the business value? That is your answer of why. Okay, and that will only come to you if you are understanding the first step. If you understand the feature really well, if you understand the problem that is solved, then you'll be able to understand why we have created this feature. And the answer of why is actually your success metric. The answer of why is actually your success metric, right? Then after you have understood the main metric, why we are doing this, let's say a main metric could be a very bigger metric. Let's say it is revenue, it is number of new users, it is market share. That is a big metric. You cannot go ahead and tackle it like head on. So what you have to do is you have to break down that metric into smaller parts. So you will look at the user journey and you will break down the user journey or break down the metrics of the user journey into multiple parts. Okay, there are many frameworks for this. You can use the ARR framework. You can use the uh, what we call it. Yes, you can use the ARR framework. You can use the L1, L2. You can use the lagging leaking metric. But you not do not if you do not know these things, that is okay. I'm going to tell you a much simpler framework. Simpler is just take the product, take the user flow, and break it down into three steps. The first step is awareness. Awareness is, are your people, are your customer actually aware about this feature or not? The second is adoption. Are people actually using this product? Are they using it frequently or not? And the third is success, which is the same metric that we have talked about, that why this feature was built. If you are able to break down your metrics into three parts, then you should be able to go ahead and give the answer to this question. And the third, or then the fourth part, which is also optional, is sanity metric. Sanity metric means that in the pursuit of one metric, you should not deteriorate the other metric. It often happens that if people are focusing on user growth, the ratings of the app go down or the retention of the product goes down. Because if you tell marketing team that we need to increase the number of users, they will run discounts, they will do these kind of ads, that kind of stuff, they are going to make false promises. And then eventually what will happen? The number of, let's say, the retention that you have and the experience that you have can deteriorate. So you have to also have some sanity metric, which is what should not be disturbed. It is not possible 100% of the time that you are not disturbing other metrics, but you should be, let's say, aware about the same. Okay, so describe why was the feature was built, map usage steps, and sanity metrics. Okay, here awareness means, are people aware about the product? Adoption means, are people using the product or not? Which means, are they onboarded? Also called as activation in the fancy terms. And do they have retention or not? Are they using it again and again? This is usage. And then there is success. Whether it is helping you achieve the business outcome or not. Okay, everyone on a scale of 1 to 5, tell me if you are able to understand this. Everyone, please. Pure lies, guys. How can you understand this without an example? I have only tell you the conceptual theory. You cannot understand the conceptual theory, right? Just with the conceptual theory, right? So let me go ahead and give you example. Okay. I will take the same example that I've given you initially, which is referrals. Okay. I will take example from referrals. I'm sure every one of you might have gone ahead and using, yes, I'm sure every one of you might have gone ahead and participated in some of the other referral mechanisms. Referrals are common in B2C as well. They are common in B2B as well. Like Slack and other kind of platform, they also have some of the other kind of referral mechanisms. Okay, so let us go ahead and try to do the same case study with referrals. Okay, so a quick yes or no if everyone is aware about how referrals work. A quick yes or no if everyone is aware about how referral works. How referral works? Your existing set of users will invite other people on the platform through some links or some coupon codes so that other people can also join the platform. Okay, understand? Everyone has the same understanding of the feature, right? Now, let us solve this. Metrics for reference. What is point number one? Do we all understand what is referral? Yes, we understand what is that. Why have we started referral? Tell me, guys, what is the purpose of building reference? What is the purpose of building reference? Tell me. Yes. Why we are doing this? Number of users. Growing the number of users, right? Correct. Everyone on the same page, right? So if you take any feature in the world, if you ask yourself, what is the purpose of this feature? Why this feature was, why did anyone bother to create this feature? And you will get your answer, the success metric, right? The third part is, let us create the flow of reference. What is the flow of referral? The flow of referral is, first of all, someone is going to sign up on your platform. After doing a lot of activities in your product, then they are going to discover your referral program, that you have a referral program. After that, they are going to understand the referral program. If they feel that the incentives are aligned, then they will refer their friends or colleagues. And once they refer their friends or colleagues, the friend will join. A quick yes on everyone if you're able to understand this user set. Yes. Now let's say you created a referral mechanism, but it failed. You created a referral mechanism, but it failed. So how would you diagnose? How would you diagnose? So what you will do is, first of all, you will understand that are enough people aware about my referral mechanism or not. So you will understand whether do we have enough users already on the platform. Let's say if you are a new company which only has 10, 20, 30 users, and you are looking to build a referral program, then it might not work for you. Why? Because maybe you do not have enough base, you have enough number of people to actually start referring people. Okay, so maybe number of users who are already on your platform is your one metric. Another metric could be, maybe people are actually not even aware. So rather than promoting your referral, what you have done is, people have to go to their profile section, they have to click on the three dots, they have to click on the referral, then they will go to the referral. So discovery is actually limited. So one of the problems why it is not happening is actually the awareness. And how many people are on your platform plus how many people are exposed to the referrals is actually the awareness part. right? The second part is understand the referral program and refer their friends. This is the adoption. They are aware of the product, but whether are they adopting or not, whether are they using it or not. Okay, whether they are using it or not. So what you will do, you will understand how many people are actually clicking on share link. There is a share link option. There is a coupon code copy option. You will understand how many people are actually going ahead and copying this link and giving to their friends, right? You will measure that metric. Okay. And the third part is how many people are actually joining, how many new users are coming from this particular part. Okay. So we have divided into three parts. The first part is awareness. How do we measure awareness? We will measure awareness by views on your referral page. How much percentage of your audience is actually have a view on the referral page? Okay. How do we measure the adoption metric? How many people are sharing the link? And then third is how many new users are joining. Okay. Now, if you think that, let's say many people are aware, but still new users are not joining, that means that your incentives are not correctly done. If let's say people are sharing the links and then there are views on page as well, but people are not joining, that means the incentive for other people are not well, or your referral program is not very strong. Okay. So if your views are less, that means you have to work with the marketing or other teams in order to grow the awareness. If your this is incorrect, that means that you have to work as a product team in order to improve the UX and the UI and improve the incentive. And if this is not coming, these things are coming and this is not coming, that means your assumption, your baseline assumption was wrong. Right? Yes. And all the bugs and everything also you'll be able to measure from these things, that where that actual bug is coming. Okay. So just to create a metric tree for this. Yes. So if you are having bugs or any issues in your journey, you should be able to understand it with the help of metrics. These metrics. Yes. Now, let me go ahead and tell you how do we create the metric tree for this. Okay. So we are creating referrals for what? For getting the number of new users to join the platform, right? If we are getting the new number of users to join the platform, then new number of users depend upon number of invitations sent multiplied by conversion rate. How many people are actually being converted? Okay. Now, invitation sent depends upon number of users you already have on the platform. How many people are actually aware about the same? How many people are actually sharing this? Right? And then conversion rate. How many people are actually signing up on the platform? So how you can improve the conversion rate? By improving the incentives or making sure that your audience is also aligned with the audience of your people who are sharing your product with other people, because your product has to be relevant to their network as well. Okay, everyone, on a scale of 1 to 5, if you are able to understand this, how do you take a product, and how do you find its metrics? Simple steps. Number 1, understand the feature completely. Number 2, understand why the product was created. This is your main metric. Then number 3, understand how you can break it down into awareness, adoption, and success. And then you are done. If you want, optionally, you can also have a sanity metric. Yes. Now, I have a question for everyone. Okay. I have a question for everyone. How will you measure the success of YouTube sidebar? I hope everyone is knowing about this YouTube sidebar, right? Can you tell me what would be the success metric for YouTube sidebar? Yes. So number one mistake that most of the product managers like you make is you jump to the conclusions. Okay. Whether I'm talking about, let's say, what is the value of this feature, what is the commercial value, what is the user value, you didn't understand the same. You didn't understand the flow. You just jump to the solution, which is CTR. If CTR was the only thing, then people who are creating bad thumbnails are also going to rank at the top. People who are only creating attractive thumbnails, they are going to be at the top, but that does not happen. YouTube cares about so many other things as well. Yes. Cool. So this is a homework for you guys. Okay. So I've told you that you have to convert your information into knowledge. Okay. So this is the homework for you. You do this and I'll share a link with you so that you can submit your assignment. Okay. So what is the success? What would be the metrics that you'll measure for YouTube success? Everyone understood the homework, right? A quick yes or no? Yes. What is, how will you measure the success of YouTube sidebar? What is the process? Tell me the whole process, right? Yes. Now, let me give you one more example of metric, please. Okay. So everyone uses WhatsApp, and there is a feature on WhatsApp called as status or stories or update. Daily status, stories, or updates. They have shamelessly borrowed it from uh, this company called Snapchat. Okay. Now, this is how we can create a metric tree for the same. So daily active users, this is the main metric. Why does why does Meta wants to create this feature on WhatsApp that people should be able to share things every day? Because they want people to come back to the product each and every day. And because these statuses are going to get out of like are going to get deleted after or going to get vanished after 24 hours, people are going to come back to see new content every day. Okay. So this is daily active users is a success metric. Then we can divide into two parts. Okay. How many people are creating the status? How many people are consuming the status? Then how many people are creating the status depend upon how many creator who are creating the status and number of status is generated. This is status creation. And then there are going to be new users, there are going to be repeat users. Similarly, status consumption, number of people who are viewing the status tab, going to their phone and then looking at that particular thing, engagement on the status and time spent. And then status view, replies and reports. This is the interaction or engagement on this. Okay. And eventually in the long run, if there are enough daily active users, they are going to spend more time. And then if Facebook wants to launch a ad channel on WhatsApp, they should be able to get more views. Right? So a metric tree is nothing but breaking down your whole metrics into smaller parts and then question yourself. Let's say, understand the purpose of you as a product manager is not just to measure metrics, but to identify what you need to do. So now you have a map. So if you want to increase people who are actually the new users and they should create a status, you should create an informational campaign or a good onboarding flow so that people know how to create a status. If repeat users you want to educate, you want to make sure that you are repeatedly telling them that, boss, this is a feature that you might not be aware of. Okay. A quick yes or no, everyone, if you're able to understand this metric tree. Cool. Yes. Now, a very important part. I have given you information. You have to convert it into knowledge. Understand, guys, in your interview, it will not come that what is the success metric for this or this or this. They are going to ask you a different question. So you need to know how to think on the feet. You have to internalize this information into knowledge. Okay. So you have to think for yourself. So what you need to do is, I'm going to recommend you an exercise. If you do this, then only you will get the value from this session. Otherwise, that's okay. Like, you have just gone ahead and maybe wasted 2 hours of your time, because information is available everywhere. Okay. And this is the same practice that we follow in our cohorts at HelloPM, to make sure that we are giving you assignments so that you are able to practice everything. Because right now, whatever I am giving you is passive information. You are not acting on it. Once you go ahead and act on that information, think for yourself, then only you can understand what you need to learn and how to learn. Okay. So I'm going to give you this exercise. The exercise is how to build your metric muscle. What you need to do is, make a list of products you have used in last 1 month at work or personally. Okay. After that, take that product and break it down into features. Let's say you take WhatsApp, you break it down into message creation, you break it down into message creation, you break it down into status, you break it down into settings or some other things. Okay, so every product is a collection of features. Now, for every feature, you have to ask yourself, what would be the success and driver metrics for this feature? Success metric is the top metric, which is main metric. Driver metrics are metrics which are at the lower level. Okay, and then you have to ask yourself, how does various features metrics for these various features come together to achieve the success metric for the whole product? The product would also have a metric, which is, let's say, revenue, growth, or something else, or retention. So how you can go ahead and collect all of these things together so that they work towards a common goal. That will improve your strategic mindset and why different features are creating different kind of products. Okay. And then you have to draw a metric tree for 3.A and 3.B. I will share this slide with you so that you can understand, you can see these visualization, and you can create for yourself. Okay. This can be quickly created in PowerPoint or any of the visualization tools that you have, or maybe on a piece of pen and paper. Okay. And then you have to reflect and iterate. Matlab, look at it, what you have done, try to question yourself, can I add something else? Okay. And once you are done, you have to take the screenshot, and then you can either post it on LinkedIn, you can either post it on the WhatsApp group that we have shared with you, so that if we can or other people can, they can give you some kind of feedback. Okay. A quick yes or no if you guys are able to understand the exercise. And you have to do this not for 1 or 2 products. You have to do it for at least, I would say, 10 products. Okay. And in case some people have problem that they cannot, let's say, they are too lazy to create a list. They are too lazy to create a list. Then I have also created a list for you. List of products that can improve your product thinking and product metrics skills. Okay. So I will go ahead and share it with you. Cool. These contains all the popular products that we see in our daily lives. Right. So it should take you, initially it will take you about, I would say, half an hour daily for 1 feature, 2 features, but then it will take less time because you are now used to it. Okay. Yes. Yes. And guys, these are the, okay. So write, I commit in the chat if you commit to creating metric trees. If you commit to creating this exercise, write, I commit in the chat. Yes. Cool. So what you should do is, okay, so I think we should make a public commitment. So give me a minute. Let me challenge you a bit. Just give me a moment. Cool. So guys, if you really want to commit to this, because understand, only thing that is stopping you from developing your good product analytical mindset is you yourself only, your ability to not do things. Okay. Now, if you are really committing, go to the WhatsApp group and write that I commit to creating 10 metric trees. Write, I commit to creating 10 metric trees. Go ahead. Let's see if you can take this challenge. You have to write, I commit to creating 10 metric trees. Yes, guys, all the things that I'm sharing in the session will be available to you if you remain till the end of the session and if you go ahead and fill the feedback. Yes. Guys, now you are doing it publicly, right? Now you are doing it publicly. So make sure that you are like staying with your words. Yes. Cool. Cool. And now these are some of the questions. Okay, you can do it later as well. So now these are some of the questions that are asked in metric interviews. Okay. As a PM at a Spotify podcast, define success and what metrics would you measure? This was asked in Meta in 2024. How would you measure the success of Google Cloud Storage? Google 2024. How would you measure the effectiveness of eBay search algorithm? eBay 2024. What metrics would you use to measure success as a PM for DoorDash? 2024. So all of these questions follow the similar pattern. Understand the feature, break it down into multiple parts, and then go ahead and summarize your answer. And this questions people are asking not only to understand your analytical skill, but also your user empathy skills, your problem solving skills, your communication skills, because you have to communicate the answer to the interviewer as well. Your data fluency skills. Are you able to prioritize the right things or not? Because understand, a very rookie mistake that product managers make is they create so many metrics and they don't know how to prioritize. Okay, you have to understand how to prioritize the right one. And then the business sense. Business sense as in how would you go ahead and are your metrics related to the business only or not? Because understand, guys, whenever you create a product, you have to balance between the user needs and the business needs. You cannot create a product that is only satisfying the business because in the long run it is going to lose. You cannot create a product that is only going to satisfy the customers because in the long run the business is going to lose. They are going to take up the budget. Okay. Yes. And this is how you need to answer the questions. Ask clarification question, understand the feature, make sure that you are on the same page with the interviewer and you fix the scope. Then find out why the product was created, map the user journey and define the critical metrics. Then create a metric tree. Metric tree could be a leading or lagging metrics, L1, L2 metrics, driver and success metrics. Okay. What are these? In this diagram, this is the main metric called the L1 metric. These are the L2 metrics, level 2 metrics. Because this happened, then this happened. So it might take some time to evolve, but this happens instantly. So it is called a leading metric. This is called a lagging metric. Leading, lagging. Lagging, because it takes some time to form. This is a success metric. These are the driver metrics. So there are so many comparisons, so many terminologies. Lagging, leading, L1, L2, driver and success metrics. Driver metric as in what is driving this, and success is the ultimate metric. Right? And then if find the D&D metrics, if applicable. It is not always applicable, it is not always important, but if you can go ahead and find a D&D. Okay. For referral, the D&D metric could be, for referral, the D&D metric could be that the cost of acquisition might not go very high. The experience of the existing users should not reduce. The ratings. Okay. And then you need to summarize. Whatever your answer is, understand, you cannot just go ahead and give away this metric tree to everyone. You have to summarize it, tell the important metric, and then finish the interview and take the feedback. Yes. D&D is do not disturb or sanity metrics. Yes, everyone, now on a scale of 1 to 5, if you think you know how to decide the metrics for a feature. Yes, everyone who's telling 5 is a lie because you cannot learn without practice. Once you practice, once you do these 10 exercises, then you are nearby 4. I have only given you the information, guys. Information does no goods on its own. You have to reflect on that information so that you are able to face the situations which are very new to you. That is how you learn. Yes. Cool. Now let us talk about another important thing. Okay. Which is event based tracking. Okay. Event based tracking. What is event based tracking? Let's say I want to eat noodles today. And if I want to eat noodles, I have to go to an app, then I have to order. Okay. We are doing this exercise to help you understand that we have understood all the high levels of metrics, which metrics to measure, why to measure them, but how actually to do this. How will you get this data? That I'm going to tell you right now. Okay. So let's say I want to eat noodles. What I'm going to do, I'm going to open Swiggy. Once I open Swiggy, I'm going to click on the home screen. I'm going to search for noodles. I'm going to choose a particular restaurant. I'm going to add to cart something. I'm going to check out, and then I'm going to pay for this. This is the journey that I follow. Okay. And the product managers at Swiggy have to make sure that they are able to capture all of these events, put it in their database, and they create some kind of reports to understand how my experience is. Okay. So how does it work? How does event tracking works? You as a user are going to do some actions on the product. Product could be an app, a website, or an API, anything. If you people don't know what is an API, you can go to HelloPM YouTube channel in order to understand APIs for product managers after the class, obviously. So these are the events. Events are sign up, click, views, whatever interaction the user is doing. Now these information would be sent to the server where it is stored in the data store. But in the data store, it is raw information. No one can understand it. So we are going to use some visualization tools so that you are able to derive insights from this particular data. This data is a gold mine. This data is a gold mine for improving the product and building new features. So you need to collect this, you need to store this, and then you need to create visualization. Right? Although many companies use different kind of tools for different kind of purposes, for visualization, many companies use Tableau, many companies use Power BI or Metabase or Redash, other kind of platforms. For database, they use MySQL, Redis, or Cassandra, or many other things. But most of the companies, what they do is they go ahead and use some out of the box solution, such as Mixpanel, Mode, Amplitude, CleverTap, Web Engage, Mo Engage, which automatically does all of these things for you. You just have to insert the code in your computer or in your code base in your product, and then the events you are going to give it to your developers. The developers are going to put these events in your product. Whenever a user does these events, they are going to get captured, they are stored, and then you can see the visualization all on one platform. Yes? A quick yes or no, everyone, if you are able to understand this slide. Everyone, a quick yes or no if you are able to understand this slide. Yes. So these tools will give you some code. You will give that code to the developer. The developer will understand, they will put that code on your website. Now you will also take a spreadsheet. You will define these events so that developer understand on which click I have to send which event. Now these events would be automatically stored on everything. And then Mixpanel and these kind of platforms are going to give you easy to use reports so that you can go ahead and as a product manager, you can understand this data and take actions based on the same. This is the crux of event-based analytics. Okay, and events are stored in this format. Let's say this is the name of the event: screen open, search, choose the restaurant, pay. And these are the properties of the event. Every event would have some properties. Okay, let's say screen open. Then which screen was open? When was it open? What is the location of the user when it was open? Because Swiggy is a hyper local platform. Then search. What are they going to search? What are they searching for? What is the origin where they are searching from? Have they applied any kind of filters? Choose the restaurant. What is the name of the restaurant? What is the position in that search list? You have to understand whether your search is effective or not, whether people are clicking on the first result or the last result, right? And then pay, amount, provider, these kind of things. Some of the properties are implicit properties. Some are explicit properties or events. Let's say, what is the URL? What is the time at that period of time? What is the operating system? This is implicit. Your analytics tool can do it by itself. But let's say, what is the name of this event? What are they searching for? Then your developer has to enter it through automatic. Okay, so these are some events and actions. Now, as a product manager, what you need to learn is you have to create a tracking sheet and you have to give it to your developers. How to create a tracking sheet? I'll share a template with you. So let's say you are a company working in retail and e-commerce, or maybe SaaS. You are a company working in SaaS. So this is the example of sheet. You are going to write what is the feature, sign up / login. Then you will write the name of the event, request demo, sign up started, sign up completed. You are going to give some context to your developer, and then eventually you will mention all of these properties. What are the properties of the events? I will share all these 4-5 sheets with you so that you can go ahead and understand this. Cool. A quick yes or no, everyone, if you are able to understand how event-based tracking is done along with these sheets. Yes. So you have a product which is a phone or a desktop or anything. You do certain kind of events. These events are captured. Let's say first you have to define these events. Events could be, let's say, sign up. Event could be login. Event could be open the home page. Event could be adding a friend. All of these events, you have to put it in a spreadsheet. You have to define their properties, and then you have to give it to the developer. The developer will go to the Mixpanel website. They will read its code, and then they will make sure that all of these events are sent to your Mixpanel dashboard. And these events need to be defined mostly by the product managers. Okay, so I will share all of this content with you guys, so don't worry about sharing. Just focus on the session right now. Yes. Generally, event names are yes. Generally, they are defined by PMs unless you have a separate team for the same. Generally, it's a responsibility of the PM because PM knows what to measure and when to measure it. So it is generally the responsibility of the product manager. Yes. Now, based on this, we can have multiple flows. Okay, let's say for funnel, you can collect these events, you can put them into a series. That how many events are happening after this, how many events are happening after this. So once you have the basics ready, this is the basic infrastructure. Once you have these users and the events and the properties ready, then you can do a lot of things. What you can do is you can create funnels. So if you remember my journey, I have gone to home, then search, then result, then restaurant, then add, then checkout, then paid. So let's say if 100 people are coming to the homepage of Swiggy, 50% people are actually going to search. Out of this, 47% of people are actually going to the search result, and then 20% people are actually clicking the restaurant. This is called a funnel. Funnel is nothing but a series of steps the users go through in order to go ahead and do their job. Okay, now guys, tell me, why is there a drop off between 100 to 50%? Let me show you the diagram. This is the diagram. This is the screen 1. This is the screen 2. Why there is a drop off of 50% from here to here? Correct. Yes, most of you are right. Okay, so what happens is that in a platform like Swiggy, they already have these so many things. So most of the people when they go to Swiggy, they might not have made up mind about a food or a restaurant. So they are just looking for whatever I can go ahead and get quickly and maybe at a cheaper price with the discount. So we are doing this. Just give me a moment. Yes, just give me a moment, guys. Yes. Yes. So people are not clicking. It could be any reason. It could be a technical reason you are not fetching the right metrics. It could be a reason that maybe the homepage team is doing a great job. Homepage team is doing a great job of going ahead and maybe doing this. So ideally, just because you see this in like just because you see this gap, you cannot call it a drop off every time, right? Because maybe these people through a different flow, they will reach the paid ads. Okay. Now, why is the difference between this? Why is the difference between this? Like, why is the difference between the 50% and 47%? Load time, not the right result. Yes. It could be possible that many people are actually mistakenly clicking on the search button because it is at the bottom. Their thumb is in that phase, and then they come back to the home page. That could also be there, right? Yes. And now this is the problem. People who are coming to the search, they are searching something, but they are not going to any restaurant. This is a major drop off, 47% to 20%. A major, almost it is getting half, right? So tell me what could be the reason here. So what is funnel analysis? Step by step conversion rate from a user flow. You need to identify the drop off and you need to address it. Okay. Now this is the diagram that I have shown you. After doing so, now with funnels, you are able to understand that there is something that I need to do over here. So now what you will do is you will understand the problem. You will talk to few users who have dropped off from there because you have their user information. You will try to observe their user journeys. You will look at the product by yourself as well, this particular search, and maybe you will come up with a couple of ideas. The ideas are you need to improve the quality of search results. You need to include filters and sorting because they are not available right now. If you look at this page, the filters and sorting are not available right now. Okay. And then you need to also put frequent restaurants at the top, which is I order from same restaurant every time. So why don't you put that restaurant at the top where I have already given you great ratings, right? And once you do this, understand guys, these are just hypothetical suggestions. Other features could be different. And then let's say if we again measure the metrics after some period of time, we'll be able to see that yes, there is certain kind of job. Okay, so this is how you use funnels in order to improve your product. Number one, identify the steps and create the funnel. Find the drop-offs. Improve the experience where improvement is desired. Connect the value and intent. Value and intent is what does the user wants and what the flow gives them, what the product gives them. Okay, and then iterate. You have to do a lot of experimentation in order to get these kind of results. Right? Everyone on a scale of 1 to 5 are able to understand the case plus the understanding of funnel. Yes. Now, guys, the bigger question is how do you come up with these? This comes by market research. You try to understand what your competitors are doing. This will come from user research. You will do the user interviews. This will come from dog fooding. What is dog fooding? You using your product by yourself. This will come by brainstorming. Don't think that your metrics will tell you analytics that this is what you need to do. Right? You need to do the research. You need to get the insight. That is your job as a product manager. You are not a data scientist who is only going to look at data and data is going to give you the answer. Data will help you look at a direction that was, I feel that this is something that we can do. Right? Dog fooding means you use your own product. Yes. Cool. Dog fooding means you using your own product. Yes. So just to repeat again, identify the steps and create a funnel. You have to first list all of the steps, then drop offs, then improve the experience where the improvement is desired, then connect the value and the intent. Most important part is the product manager, and then go ahead and iterate. Run multiple experiments. Maybe you don't know what is going to work, so run A/B experiments. Right? After this, we have come something called a segmentation. Segmentation, what we generally do is, because we have all the information about the user, let's say what is their age, what is their demographic, their location, what they like, what they don't like, we can personalize the whole product. That can also be done with analytics. Analytics segmentation is nothing but breaking down the users into multiple categories: demographic criteria, psychographic criteria, behavioral criteria, geographic criteria. Yes. Segmentation can also help you improve marketing, and it can also help you improve your product. Yes. How to use segmentation to improve your product? Create segmentation based on user properties and identify the best audience segments. You can do it on the basis of user properties, and you can also understand the behavior of the user. People who are buying more, so you understand what they are doing, and then you try to replicate this to other people as well. Right? Similarly, identify proper power, casual, and churned users and implement techniques to improve their engagement with them. Which is, let's say you have three kinds of people: people who have dropped, who have churned off, they are not coming to your app. Then people who are casual, who are just using the product here and there. And then people who are power users, people who really want to go ahead, they really invest a lot of time in the product. So you will understand you will segment them, you will understand their pattern, you will understand their journey and their funnels, and you will see how I can give the same experience to these people. Right? Yes. A quick yes on everyone if you're able to understand segmentation. It's very commonsensical, depends on the use case. Yes. Yes. So guys, a user journey could be multifaceted. That a user can go ahead and do multiple things in the user journey. It is multifaceted, but generally, a funnel is one set of linear steps. Okay, segmentation. All the popular tools have segmentation. Yes, and then there is cohort analysis. So cohort is also an example of segmentation. Cohort is a group of users who have done a particular action at a common time. Cohort is a group of people who have done a particular action at a common period of time, which means that these people, these 1098 people, they have launched their app for the first time on January 25. Now, how many of them are coming on day zero? Everyone, because this is day zero. Next day, 33 people are coming, 33% people are coming, then less people are coming, then less people are coming. Okay. Similarly, people who have joined on February 1, 868 people have joined. On day one, all of them came. Then people started reducing. Can you guys tell me what are we measuring with cohort analysis? What exactly are we measuring with cohort analysis? Yes, retention and churn rate. I have shown you three diagrams, right? One was this diagram, one was this diagram, and one was this diagram. This is what it is showing. This is the retention. This is cohorts. Okay. And if you are able to measure events, you will find in your tool that yes, this is also possible. Right? So find how to use cohort analysis, find the impact of a particular change done at a specific period of time, and learn how users are adopting with your product over time. Retention. Simple. Yes. Cool. So do you guys have energy to learn about Mixpanel now? What are the common reports? A quick yes or no in the chat. We are already over the time, so tell me yes or no in the chat if you have the energy. Cool, great. Yes. Come on, guys, you need more energy. You need more energy. Otherwise, how will you do this? Yes. Cool. So I'll try to wrap this up into 5-10 minutes only. Okay. So yes, let me go ahead and tell you about Mixpanel. So anyone who wants to use Mixpanel, they can just go to the website called mixpanel.com. They can create a free account. It's free. Once you are into your account, what you need to do is, once you are into your account, you will see this kind of thing. Okay. And when you are there, you just click on this button. Top right, you have to click on this button. And here you have to choose sample data set. Because I know you guys might not have your own project or your own product. So you can use a sample data set. In the sample data set, what you will do is you'll just click on this. You will click on sample data set. You can use any of the data sets. Let's say I am using finance. So Mixpanel has been kind enough to give sample data sets. So you can casually browse their platform. Okay. So let's say we are in the sample data set. Once that data set is ready, what you need to do is first is events. If you go to the event section, you should be able to understand what are different kind of events that are available. So check balance, view transaction, these are all the event logs, what is happening. If you click on any event, so these events are sent in a spreadsheet to the developer by the product manager. So check balance. These are all the properties of the events. What is the balance? What is the city? What is the country? What is the operating system? So whatever events that you are sending, you can test it by going to the event section of Mixpanel. Okay. The second thing is users. You can just check who are the users who have signed up on the platform, and you can also check their properties. So she is Leah Jefferson. So you should be able to see all her properties by clicking on her link. Right. And if she have done any activity in that time, you should be able to see that activity feed as well, which is the events that she has done. Okay. So this is events and this is users. Then you can also see patterns or trends. Let's say you want to see how many people are actually signing up every day. Right. So you can go to this section called as reports, click on insights, and then choose an event. What do you want to see? I want to see how many people are actually installing the app every day. So this is the graph. So I could see that yes, on 1st of January, most of the people have installed the app. And I can make a breakdown and I can do a lot of things from here. You have to explore it by yourself in order to understand. Yes. Yes. Then you can have multiple filters as well. Okay. So let's say you want to see app install, but only people who have installed this on operating system called as Android. We only want to see the Android users. So now you can see it's a different graph, right? Let's say I do not want to see it through filter, but I want to see all the operating systems. So what I'll do is I'll put a breakdown by operating system. So now you can see, I can see all the possible operating systems and how that particular event was done across these operating systems. So I can use filters, I can use breakdown. So you just have to do is collect the events and then Mixpanel or Amplitude or Mode or Hotjar, anyone will give you the similar kind of reports. Just understand the basics and you are ready to use any kind of plan. Yes. Yes. And then how to create the funnels? Very simple. Just go to reports, go to funnel, take the events. Number one step is people who are installing the app. Number two is people who are opening the app. And number three is people who are depositing any money. So this is the simple funnel that you can see. And you can, in here also you can create any kind of breakdowns or anything that you want. Yes. Guys, the fundamentals that I'm telling you, okay, this is not actually only Mixpanel. This is Mixpanel, MoEngage, WebEngage, or any tool that you use. All the tools have this basic functionality. And this is all you need most of the times. Don't, my advice for every product manager, every aspiring product manager is please do not overcomplicate things. Basics and fundamentals are most of the time enough for you to think from first principles and build some really compelling products. But the issue is common sense is not very common and we try to overcomplicate things. So don't try for getting the best tool. Most of the tools are going to give you these kind of functionality. Yes. And then we can also understand user flows. Okay. So you want to see how your users are behaving. So what you can do is you can choose an event. Let's say, what do people do before deposit? Once people go ahead and deposit money, this is what they do. What do people do after deposit? So I can set the number of steps that what do people do 3 steps before this, 3 steps after this. So if I want to determine what should be my funnel, I can go to user flows. I can understand all of these things. So before deposit, about 57% check their balance. About 7% view their transactions. And after deposit, some people again deposit. Some people go ahead and transfer the money. Okay, so this is about user flows. A quick yes or no, everyone, if you are able to understand the fundamentals of Mixpanel or any analytics tool that is available out there. Yes. So my advice for everyone is please do not overcomplicate things. Think for yourself, collect the basics, and then go ahead and win across any tool. Okay, and then you can use any tool. I would advise everyone to sign up on Mixpanel, sign up on Amplitude, sign up on Mode. Everyone has the sample data set. You can get the sample data set and try to fetch the similar reports. I'm sure once you go through 2-3 tools, you will feel confident that I can go ahead and tackle any tool. And that fear of tool will go ahead and go on. With GA4 also, they have the sample data set for an e-commerce website, I think. GA4 is also good. Yes. Come on, everyone, on a scale of 1 to 5, tell me if you are able to understand everything so far or not in the session. Amazing. Now tell me yes or no in the chat. Are you better equipped now to do analytics as a product manager? Are you better equipped now to do analytics as a product manager? Yes. Cool. So again, repeating, guys, I have given you the information. You have to convert it into knowledge. Okay. Before I could share the feedback form, a couple of pointers. If you want to understand, so right now I've only given you the surface level information. There are so many things that we offer in the 15-week live program. You can go to the website called hellopm.co in order to check the story and in order to understand what we have to offer you. Okay. And rather than only talking about product analytics detail, we talk about multiple other facets of product management as well. And we make sure that for each and everything that we teach you, we are taking the help of case studies and we teach you almost every possible tool. Okay. And apart from only analytics, we are going to teach you introduction and user and market research, how to go ahead and develop product thinking, and multiple other things as well. Okay, so I'll not bore you with this information. You can straight away go to this website called hellopm.co. And if you like what we are doing, just make sure that you look at this session carefully, the curriculum that we have. We have one of the most exhaustive curriculums in the market. You will not find this kind of curriculum anywhere. Okay. And if you are interested in the program, look at the alumni. If you want to go ahead and join the program, you can join. The next batch is going to start from the next batch is going to start from 10th of June, 10th of November. Okay. And then recently we have also introduced 2 new modules, which is AI for product managers and UX for product managers. People who are coming from non-tech background can also join. We have a full-fledged course on technology for product managers. Okay. Yes. So guys, if you guys are interested, you can go to hellopm.co and then you can go ahead and apply from here. But for now, what you need to do is I will share a feedback form with you. Yes. Yeah. So guys, the thing that okay, this program is equally helpful for people who are aspiring to be product managers and people who are looking to get from senior PMs to senior PM roles and senior PMs to GPM roles. We have helped people at companies such as Tata Play, such as Wakefit, in order to get into senior product management roles, and even Walmart as well, very easy. Okay, so I will share a form with you in the chat. Yes. So guys, I've shared a feedback form in the chat. People who fill this feedback form, they are going to get all the resources plus slides plus recordings plus whatever we call it, the FigJam board, all of the art that I have created. I have a bad handwriting, I know. All of this will be sent to your email inbox, but only if you go ahead and complete the feedback form. The total duration of the program that we offer is 15 weeks or 4 months. You can fast track it. You can complete it in 40, 45 days as well. And recently, we have also launched something called as Build, where you can go ahead and build your own product at the end of the program. The total fees is, if you are from outside India, the fees is $850. And if you are from India, the fees is $59,000, which can be paid in no cost EMI options for up to 9 months. And if someone is wondering what makes HelloPM different from so many mushrooming cohorts that are available, is very simple, which is one thing, is practicality. We focus not only on helping you crack interviews or getting you through the, let's say, through the door. We make sure that you are able to understand product management practically. And for that, we give you a lot of assignments. We help you build a lot of projects. We help you think on the feet so that you are not only able to, let's say, cram up the questions and answers, you are able to think on your feet and you're able to become a better product manager. Yes. And if you guys need to understand, let's say, the differences between us and the other cohorts, you should be able to check out this. If you go to the website, you should be able to understand this sheet as well. So we have made like a very exhaustive sheet on what differentiates HelloPM from other programs. Okay. We only have limited seats, 50 in a particular cohort. So if you guys want to join, you can go ahead and join. Yes. You can, if people are looking to fast track it, what happens in fast track is that we will give you the recordings of the past cohort along with mentorship right away. And then you can also continue in the live sessions. Yes. Everyone, please submit the feedback form and write done in the chat. Yes. Cool. And guys, the batches time are friendly for the Pacific time zone in the US and also the Indian time zone. So we also run US batches in the US time zones. The fees is 59,000 rupees. All the sessions are going to happen on weekends. Guys, what you need to do is, for any questions, you can just go to hellopm.co. All the questions are answered. If you have any questions, there is a chat option, everything. You can go ahead and maybe talk to us as well. Yes. Yes. Cool, guys. I think we are done with the session. Thanks a lot for your time. Bye and take care. I hope you have a great weekend ahead and you enjoyed the session. And thanks a lot for being the great audience. Yes. Thank you, guys. Take care. Bye. Yes. I hope everyone has submitted the feedback form. People who have missed, I'm sending it again in the chat. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Bye. Take care. You have been a great audience. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Bye. Take care. Thank you from all of us at HelloPM. Thank you, guys. Bye. Take care. You have been a great audience. Thank you.